Consistently a powerhouse every year, the Russian Federation looks to carve their way to the throne after being sent down to the trenches. They face a former powerhouse who's done well in years past, but have slowly lost their touch in more recent iterations. A big improvement this year, confirming top 12. They put up a good fight against Seed 4 Canada, but they must face their strongest opponent yet. An elimination match, meaning either team cannot afford to lose if they wish to claim that glory for themselves. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to losers semifinals of the 5-digit World Cup between the Russian Federation and China. I'll be joining you here, Gabber SS, in the commentators booth, and here with me will be a good friend of mine, another goat at casting, Lefrail, and we'll be here to watch an interesting match with you all, one between David and Goliath, as you could say, but either way, I think this is going to be a good one.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that one, Gabbers. This is Russia against China. Two very good countries in the 5-digit range, and they're up against each other in the semifinals losers bracket, fighting for their lives. These players, they know it. Russia knocked down by Canada, or sorry, not by Australia last weekend. And China barely surviving in that losers bracket quarterfinals against Poland, and I think it was, who was it, Taiwan? I forgot who China's second match was.
Second match? Do you mean in round of 16?
Yeah, or like first match, I'm not sure, but I know one of them was Poland, and they did very well in that.
Oh, quarters. Well, China's road so far. I mean, their only really difficult match, as you could say, in terms of seeding, has been against Canada during round of 16, which is the one they lost, but it was by a pretty solid, with a solid performance from them. Pretty decent enough fight, showing that they can kind of match up against the higher seeds. The scoreline was 5-3. After that, going to the losers bracket, they went against Kazakhstan and, as you mentioned, Poland, which in this bracket, some of them are lower seeds, but you know, still going up with almost full sweeps, losing 1 point to Poland. China, you know, despite losing against Canada in such a fashion, they're here to play. They're here to potentially stay, but they need to show that they have the potential to take down one of the greats here. Russia has been a really polarizing figure in this tournament. Very scary. They may have lost practically all of their players from the previous years, but you can see just from the stats and the sort of names, if you kind of recognize some of them, that this is a scary team to go up against. And you know, China unfortunately gonna have to go with the flow and be forced to go into this match, try and take these kings down. Russia and China, the match is gonna be starting soon. Protects are in, I believe, HD2 and DT2, and the bans real soon.
Yeah, those protects very much standard for both teams. Yo, China, you got their speed roster down on that DT2, you run the jewels, lots of stamina in, and Russia making use of their gimmick players, especially against this China team who doesn't really have a full 4-man on the gimmickier map, especially the low AR. So Russia will go for that Bruno Mars song in the Hidden 2. In terms of bans, we're looking at speed for Russia, getting rid of that DT3. And now China, for their first ban, will be getting rid of precision, actually. Surprisingly, in my opinion, Hard Rock 2 was something I thought they would be good going into this match against Russia. What do you think about Gabbers?
I mean, HR2, it's always a scary pick to try and go for. You're never really gonna be too sure, especially on a skill set as volatile as the precision. You know, the CS that being that small, and on a map such as the Hard Rock 2 we have for this pool, it's a very, very difficult one to try and score and combo. The angles, the aim, it's very rough. The sliders are just incredibly difficult to get a pure hold of. And China, I think they're not gonna want to go for that against the Russians here. Pretty fair, I suppose. I mean, if you're unsure on what to ban, I guess Hard Rock 2 is a pretty safe one to get rid of, since Russia, they're decently consistent on the precision. They kind of prefer to play these sorts of maps where the margin of error is just that small. So I would say it's too surprising for China to get rid of it. Maybe they're just not feeling too comfortable since it's a very unorthodox map. But who knows? We'll just have to see. A couple of next bans coming in, and it's Russia to go for a double DT ban. DT4 getting rid of. They don't. It seems like they don't really like the high AR DT ult, and China the reply back. I'm guessing they're gonna go for maybe a low AR in the nomads, or maybe another hit. Maybe get rid of one of the hiddens, considering that that is probably one of Russia's more stronger skills. It's stronger mod slots, and yeah, they're gonna be getting rid of something gimmicky, but it is the nomads. It is gonna be the nomad 6.
Ooh, no one 6 is out. No memorization map for this time around. Not much of low AR actually. It's only really the free mod 2 that's left open for those low AR players. But that does mean that 2 more hiddens are left open for Russia to abuse, and Russia, they are gonna want to abuse the hidden as much as possible against this China roster because they have such a good 4-man for that. They have, I don't know how to pronounce that, Bob Kita, Necroplasma, and like what, Sound Boomer as well on the hidden, and it's like, what does China even do about that?
It's a rough roster to try and beat, but I mean, I think China is have relatively decent enough hidden players. But I mean, hidden one being tech, so not much aim that you can really abuse here. I think aim is one of the things that China has been pretty decent, I suppose, but unfortunate for them, it's not going to be available. Now, a very surprising first pick. They're going to be going for the Nomad 5. That's finger control.
Ooh.
Sueru Pioneer 4. So it seems like, although they're not too keen on playing some of the gimmicks that this map has to offer, they're gonna be going for another they're gonna be going for an unorthodox skill set, that's for sure. The finger control in play. Russia, I'm not too sure what sort of performances they can put up on this sort of skill set, but this is a very interesting decision to go for at the start. So China, let's see if they can pull something off.
Yeah, this is not really something you would expect China to pick in this matchup, but at the same time, this isn't really low AR as the other maps that they got rid of. So it's not as gimmicky for their roster, but it's not like Russia is gonna give up this map very quickly. They have Sound Boomer, Bob Kita for these kinds of maps. I think that's Necroplasma as well plays these kinds of maps. Maybe Meowzart, I'm not so sure. But they have the roster for that. The star power is crazy on this Russian roster, and picking is going to be a tough decision for each map for China. So I hope they thought about this Nomad 5 pick a lot before this match. Let's see what they got.
Nomad 5, finger control. At the very least, it's a decently low SR map for the pool that it was put in, you know, coming in at 5.86, which goes to show that a lot of the difficulty of this map, it comes from just how rough the rhythms are gonna get. Not too much difficult in terms of the mechanics. So I feel like that's where we're gonna be seeing if China has put in the work on this map, if they have the preparation ready. We are gonna be seeing that core that you mentioned. It's Vorkuta, left with it Doksan and Spiriman, and some of the core, a lot of the core in China here in Sana Chitose, Candy, Kwai Kwai, and Shigure Rino coming in here for this Nomad 5. Seems like what a very polarizing pick to go off the start. Let's see if these 8 players have it in them to really follow through and tap this to the best of their ability, as you know, these rhythms, although coming in at 5 stars, it is very difficult to get a hold of. We already see a couple of breaks. I think that's Doksan and Sana Chitose to find early ones. Not gonna be too good. Oh, it's a Bancho actually for Doksan, so it's still 3 FCs with 2 supports. Candy to follow up with a break of his own. But it's Doksan to find a real break there. Sana Chitose to follow though, so Russia's still in favor. China is holding on with that accuracy lead, but I'm not sure if it's gonna stay there for too long.
Yeah, it's Shigeru Inu. Shigeru Rino with Kwai Kwai as well on the second FC there for China. Now it's 3-1, but there's a double break for China as well. Shigeru Rino down, and now there's 0 FCs for China as Bob Kita trades that, but still, 2 of his teammates continue to hold. The Fruited and Spiriman still on the FC. There goes both of them though.
Oh my
now
god,
China
wait.
keeps this in the back. Shigeru Rino was actually a Bancho for a second there, but I don't know if is that a real break? On that slow section, I'm not sure, but China here is still halfway through the map. It looks like they're losing this map by quite a decent margin, 50k on the gimmicker map, and there's a trade, and that's not what China wants. It's quite quiet on the 205 combo slightly, but there's not much support. Russia still on the lead here.
That is a rough one. China has collapsed on that TI. There is practically no combo at all for them to fight with, and Russia knows what's up. They know that they can take this quick cleanly, but what is that? That's a that's a quintuple break on that Buzz Slider. Candy to follow right after. Now it's Vorkuta and Shigure Rino, that star reading gimmick player for China, looking to hold down the fort, but it's still the core superstar for Russia to try and keep that lead. It's a small margin, 70k over to the Russian side, but he falls. Shigurarino now left to do God's work here. He needs to hold for as much as he can. There's still one more section of the map. It is going into the ending. Some of these 1-6, some of these pauses, they're so difficult to get a hold of. But if he holds for a bit longer, it goes back by just a little bit. Is he gonna be able to sprint to win? It's so small, that lead. It's just barely over to the Russian side, but China is gonna steal it back by the slightest of margins. Thank God, no breakpoint attained, and that's the first point for China.
China doing God's work there on that Nomad 5 at the end. Sanachi Tosi was breaking. It was really scary. You saw the score lead flip a
My
bit,
God.
especially on the spinner, but Shigure Rino and Kwai, amazing scores from those two. S rank as well from Kwai over there. 440k,
That's
very, very nice first point for China.
that is such a scary first point. At the very least, China able to close it out. A star performance there from Shigure Rino as that gimmick player right there at the very end, holding that combo. That was just so instrumental for China to take that pick. It was looking very shaky. It was a very scrappy performance from both teams. The Buzz Sliders were just so rough for either of them. It seems like they didn't really get the timings down on those. Maybe they didn't look at the map enough, or maybe nerves were in play. That just goes to show that even when the SR is this low, this map can really do some really nasty damage. So China, at the very least, the damage wasn't enough for them to falter. Russia now needs to reply with something of their own. It's still fine. They still have a match ahead of them. It's a best of 11. A lot of decisions left on their table. They could go for some of the hidden maps left in play, considering that China left all of them open, but no, they're gonna be going for something really interesting. Nomad 3, the alt pick. Uh, I know that they are very comfortable when it comes to the more technical maps, but China, I don't think they're too much of a slouch as well when it comes to the Nomad 3, so I think this is gonna be another interesting one. Not too sure.
Russia, Nomad Tree again. They have some bad memories here from last weekend against Australia. They lost that by 800,000. But now, I think they feel a little bit safer seeing as their opponent is not Australia. China, still no slouch on that ult. They have players for it. It's just gonna be about that team score, I feel like. Because it really is the team score. I mean, it was the star performance there from Shigure Rino on that Nomad 5. So we're gonna see if someone again from China can do the same thing. You know, just that one or two very high performances and it's a little bit of support from the other two could make this work. But you know, Russia can do the exact same thing here on this Nomad tree, assuming that Nomad tree from last weekend that doesn't happen. Let's see. China keeping, I think, every single player from last map. That's great, keeping them warm. And Russia only swapping out two. I think it's Antolians out or in.
Yeah,
Sorry,
Antolians and
Miazart?
Miazart are gonna be coming in. Left with Tit and Vorkuta still staying there, and yeah, as you mentioned, that superstar four over in the Chinese side. I mean, you can't really doubt these four too much. They have been very instrumental in taking China this far. Sana Chitose, Shigurino Candy. I think I've seen them quite a couple of times. Very reliable players, especially on the more technical maps. You did mention that Russia collapsed quite a bunch during their previous time playing the Nomad 3. But you know, who was below them when you compare the scores? It was China, so I don't think this is too bad of a map to go for. This one, it has a lot of flow alt consistency, so it's a bit of a different sort of alt compared to the last one. So Antolians may be the first one to fall, I believe, but it is still a very, very solid lead. Oh no, actually, it's a triple break from China. Actually, I did not see that. Shiguredino, Kwai going down first, and it's Candy to follow. It's only Sana Chitose with a combo now against a triple FC from Russia, just shutting him down, extending that lead further and further. But you know, an alt map It's always dense. It's always difficult to score on. So if any break comes in from these three, that's gonna provide Sana Chitose a big opportunity to bring this back. First Ki coming in, a little bit of just standard alt patterns, it's not too much of a struggle. These sliders, very basic. It's the flow that you really need to worry about, and it claims Vorkuta, but that's Sana Chitose to fall. No more FCs. It's quite quiet on the recovery, but that's not gonna be enough when there's two FCs on the side of the Russian team.
Yeah, it's an uphill battle here from China from here on now. It's Sanachi Tose and Shigure Rino, your two probably best players on the team, breaking already. And that's quite to pull even more weight than he needs to. It's 1 against 2 and also it's like 2.5, I guess, if you count Tolian's combo at 500, not too far behind. And that's 200k for Russia in the lead. The first pick's going well as well. And there goes a slow slider there from Quiet. Down that last combo for China goes. And that's KND 200 combo to try to do anything on this second half of the map. Russia is just in control of the second half. Goodness, Meowsart and Left Rooted still on the FC. 99 for both of them, and they are looking super comfortable on this map, as well as Bob Kira, who is, despite the break, on 99.6. Is that right? I think that's 99.6, right, Gabbers? And they are 400k in the lead as China just loses all combo.
Yeah, that accuracy is ridiculous. I think that's a 99.8 from Meowsart. Oh my god, he finally falls, drops it to a 99.5. But you look at the accuracy differences, you look at the score differences, it's Left Rooted to still hold the combo, still hold the FC, and it's a 99.8 from him. Vorkuta with the recovery, 99.3. And China, they're trying their best to build it back, but breaks continue to come. Candy and Kwai on the lower combo. Sana Chitose, Meowsart does trade, but Shigure Rino is not gonna be enough when Left Rooted is there holding, just leading the charge for Russia to take this map in such a clean fashion. And what else can you do as the FC still maintains?
Yeah, China sees it. You can already tell their players should be getting ready for their next pick. And Russia is closing this out with a much better performance on the normal tree compared to the Australia match, beating their score by about 500k already and still counting, as Left Rooted is still on the FC, by the way, 98%. And these patterns don't get any easier. The streams still come in, and there goes the break though. No FC break on the Snowmod tree, but it's a massive improvement compared to last week's.
There is no curse here. The Russians, they do not have any demons. They will slay the consequences of their actions from last week, and they will prove that they can pop off whenever they need to. An outstanding score from Left Rooted, doubling the score of most of the players from the right side here. What more can you do with such a performance? And Vorkuta to hit the ending is gonna seal the deal on the Snow Mod 3. A very good point from the Russians, and that ties it up 1-1. A lot more left to go.
Oh, first picks go very well for both teams. China, okay, they did have about 1 million down there on that Noma tree from China, but honestly, that's team score from China is not bad. 1.7 mil on a Noma tree in semifinals is still pretty good. It's just Russia is just a whole nother beast.
That's, you can't do much when this score is just that lethal. It is fine though, China. They still have options, the quintessential skill set that they've been going out, that they've been abusing through this entire tournament. The speed, the DT2s, they have been exceptional on the DT2s. They've always been looking to protect DT2 or, sometimes even Nomad 2 through every match that they've played so far, and they have proven to be very lethal when it comes to it. So kind of fair to go for this as your second pick. If you're not comfortable in anything else, you might as well get your protect down just to keep your lead and not provide a breakpoint over to the other side. So not too surprised to see this get picked as the third map of this match. China, they just have to play with what they're comfortable with, and if it is that DT2, you might as well go for it. You did protect it. You're probably confident on it. Russia, they're not too much of a slouch when it comes to their speed roster, but this is definitely one of China's more comfortable skill sets, one of their more stronger suits. So very excited to see what this roster could pull up with on this map.
Oh, China on speed stamina is scary, man. They've been picking DT2 all tournament. You can like you can remember each and every time they played speed, they've been absolute monsters on it. DT2 qualifiers, they had a very good team score. I think over almost 3 mil, if I remember correctly. Last weekend they were abusing the DT2 against Kazakhstan as well. I think it was their first pick or something like that. Also protect. And you can also call back to that Canada match, No Mod 5, where they 4-wayed FC'd on that speed No Mod 5. So we know what China can do on this map, dude. See if Russia has got any answers to it. They heavily fruited Bapita and Doxan for these kinds of stuff. Piazza comes in as well as their fourth. So let's see how good they shape up against this China four-man. Sanchi Tose, Shiguri Rino, and Inui Sana. Those three are just absolutely insane speed. And Manchit actually comes here as their fourth.
Yep, Manchet, not too bad when it comes to the speed. He can definitely fill it without a doubt. So I feel like this four-man roster from the Chinese side, you can't really doubt them too much. They are very, very capable. But we'll just have to wait and see as this map continues on. It is 2 minutes and 10 seconds, but it is just pure nightmarish stamina. Vorkuta and Manjit, the first to fall. And you can already see from these patterns the speed, the stamina. It is very, very difficult to hold for as long as you can. When you start feeling the fatigue settling in, that's when you know you are done. And Manjet is currently finding it difficult to hold. Inuisana and Doxan to follow. And it's only the top half of our screen right now that's holding the combos. It's Meowzart, Left Rutit, Sana Chitose, and Shigure Rino. Two very solid accuracies and two slightly scuffed from Left Rutit and Shigure Rino, but at the very least the combo still held from both of them. Now it is up to whether the combos can persist from the Chinese side, as the accuracy, especially with Manjent continuing to miss on these patterns, unable to find the stamina, provides Russia a little bit of security, a little bit of a lead to their side.
Yeah, the second half is looking scary. He's gonna stamina come in for a lot of these players. Bob Kita continues to drop as well, losing that, I think, 400 combo gone. But there's Zoxide on the recovery, and that's what's keeping Russia in for this map. It's scary though, because you look at the Fruitus FC, it's 94, and there goes the second one down to his left. Meowzark is gone, and now it goes to China's side. Their protect going well right at the end. Sana, Chitose, Shigure Rino, that duo at the top for China, still on the FC for both of them. And now China now has a good leverage on this map. ET2 1/4 left, and it's looking good as they have Manjin and Inuisana to keep this, even if they do break. And despite the breakthrough from Manjin, Russia can't really do much about a double FC. The Fruit is trying his best, but 94 and continuing to drop is not gonna be enough.
Oh man, China, look at them go. Their fingers are as solid as titanium. Sana Chitose, Shigure Rino, double FC in play. Left Rutit does his best, but he can only get a flat 1 million against these two dominant speedsters from the Chinese roster. That's oh my god, that's insane. This map is incredibly difficult. Shigure Rino, Sana Chitose, they just breeze through it. And despite a bit of an accuracy drop from Sana Chitose, they closed it out. An instrumental point. It was still a very, very close map for both of these teams, but China, on their own pick, they still managed to get that slight edge over them. Just get a little bit of an advantage over them. They managed to take advantage of a lot of the mistakes that the Russians were making, and as soon as some of the combos started to fall, the FCs just held for as long as they can, and Russia had no chance, no opportunity to bring it back. They just had the driver's seat stolen from them right as they took the lead over in that middle section, and now Russia, they're not going to be getting that breakpoint just yet. They need to fight for as much as they can, as China is here looking to stay. What else are they going to be going for? Are we going to see maybe a hidden coming in? If I recall, Russia has been very, very scary when it comes to the free mods. I believe that's one of the mod sets that they've been abusing a lot throughout the tournament. But no, instead they're going to be going for HR1. And a bit of a gamble. They are very solid when it comes to the HRs. China not too weak on it as well, but it seems like there's something about this map that they are looking forward to maybe abuse, and maybe that's the sheer linear aspect that comes with the angles of the jumps here. It is incredibly difficult to hold on, very rough to follow, as you know, it is just an insane work of trigonometry. What the sort of angles that comes with these jumps, man. It is very, very uncomfortable to play. Maybe Russia are feeling a lot more better on the aim than China is right now. We're not sure. We haven't seen the aim being played yet, so it's the first aim map of the match. HR1, will this be a good pick for Russia? Will this be as clean as the Nomad 3? You can't really be too sure on a volatile skill set as that aim, so we'll just have to wait and see.
Oh, yeah, both teams are just really, really good at aim, and Hard Rock, especially China, super good at Hard Rock. I'm surprised Russia actually picked this. I guess they're saving the hiddens for later because there's still 2 hiddens open. Actually, no, there's 3 hiddens open. Sorry,
There's 3
one,
hidden. They
2, and
protected
3.
one.
Yeah, hidden 1, 2, and 3 are all open, and none of them have been picked. So this is really scary when you think about if Russia wins this map, they have 3 more points, 3 more maps that are almost guaranteed points, I would say. Because China, they do not like that hidden.
I'm not too sure. Considering Russia hasn't went for it, I mean, you can't really say. Despite their, despite this match being a best of 11, you can't feel too secure when you're wasting your picks on some of the more dangerous skill sets here. Maybe they're not feeling too comfortable. Maybe they're disliking the hidden skill sets that's being shown in this map pool specifically, which is why they're going first for picks like these. Russia, your methodologies, will it work out? Strategy here. It needs to pay off. You can never be too sure on a map as scary as this. Map by Taikani. Look at this. The flow aim, the geometric angles here. This is incredibly crazy. The shapes coming in, the parallelograms, the quadrilaterals. Look at this. Look at them go. It already takes a lot of the players down. But you know who hasn't gone down? It's Manjit and Kwai Kwai as Russia, a complete collapse already at the start. It's not gonna matter too much since it's a decently long map, but even then, damage is still done, and that's 2 players from the Chinese side to take advantage of it. Granted that they can hold through this Ki coming in real soon.
Bob Kita, Bobby R, whatever you want to call him. This man has been, despite playing every single map, he hasn't been as reliable as you would expect him to be. He's been having some issues, especially at the start of the maps. That's gonna come to bite Russia in the back here, as China will take the lead for now. Sanji Tose does go down. The Shinarino, God, it's so hard to pronounce. Shinarino on the 300 recovery combo is doing very well for his team. And now, as Manjit breaks, it's a trade from Doxan basically. And now it's 2-2 combos. Spiderman and Lafrutit against 2 on China. So second half here approaching, and it's very scary for China still. There goes Shigarino as well. Double break from China, and now it's just Kwai Kwai to hold.
No. Kwai Kwai, he needs to be that leverage for China to hold on. An instrumental FC going into the second half. He manages to make it past that first chorus, but it is not over yet. 4 heroes from the Russian side are there to bring him down, and as Kwai Kwai falls, 4 will take his place. Spiderman may drop the combo right there going into this second chorus, but it is still left with Doxan and Vorkuta to hold these 3 heroes right here. Russia, they may have lost it quite a bit at the start, but now it's 200k over to their side, as no combos over to the Chinese side. They were putting up a solid fight at the start, but they will topple, they will fall, they will collapse, and Lepertit may miss, but it is Sana Chitose to trade. The supports are still there from Doxan and Vorkuta, bringing each other up through this depth spike, and going into the last quarter. That is exactly what they want, as Kwai Kwai and Manjit, as everyone from the Chinese side has pretty much just missed.
Yeah, Russia knew what they were doing here when they were picking this Hard Rock 1. They still have the combos going. Doxan breaks, and now it's Bob Kita, the first miss. Also the last to go down for the Russian roster, and now it's a 500k lead for Russia. China cannot do anything about this. Continues to quad break there from China, double break from Russia, but doesn't matter anymore as the map is already decided, especially by the break on that slider. 3 players from China, man, the sliders on this map, Gavers, it's absolutely disgusting, and China falls victim to it, man.
It is just so unorthodox. This map is just completely unplayable if you're just not comfortable with the gimmicky sort of aim, with the massive sliders that this has to offer, with the wild slider shapes, and you can see all four players succumbing. Sana Chitose just managed to hit a little bit, but it is not gonna matter when you have a 570k lead on the side of your opponent, Russia. You know, it was a bit scary at the start, but they managed to close it out. It is a 2-2, and now no security yet for China. They've been waiting, they've been drooling for any sort of cracks in Russia's play. But not yet, they say. They need to wait for something to come up. China, what's their next option? Of course, they're gonna be going for free mod 1. This is this is their map for sure. The speed coming in, 260 BPM finger control. They abused the DT2. It worked well for them. Granted that this is a little bit of a different skill set, and Russia is very strong when it comes to the versatility of their free mod roster, but you know, it's tapping. China is good at that, so might as well go for it. This is a very solid third pick from them.
Gotta be real careful here with the mods though. China probably are they might run double hard rock. I'm actually not sure. But
Double hard
I know
rock.
they're probably gonna have Sana Chitose on the hidden. That's the guy likes his hidden. Out of the four of them, it's probably gonna go in Inui Sana maybe on the hard rock? Cause I don't see Inui going hidden at all. I don't think. Maybe not for this map though, because it's not the most reading oriented map. I mean, it's speed, but the CS is just so, it makes it so much more dense than it has to be. So hidden on this can be a bit tough for people who don't play hidden. So I can see hard rock going well for Inui Sana for that. Sanji Tose hidden and Shigiri Reno. I'm actually not so sure. There's Wire Scarlet we see in the lobby there. And we see Sound Boomer in the lobby.
Ooh,
wait a minute.
Wait, what?
Is this an easy? Are we seeing
No
easy?
way.
Garrus?
No way. The reading specialist for Russia. This is not a reading map for sure. They have not picked reading at all, but yet he is here to come in. Maybe free mod 1. It is a speed map, but Sound Boomer, what is he doing here? Why is he here? Why has he come up to show the stage what he is made of? Maybe he's here to put the easy on the speed map on such a dense map like this, CS3. That would be just insane. But you know, if you're comfortable on it, if you can abuse it, the multiplier on this map is very strong. If you put the easy on, it's 2.5 times. So if you're capable of abusing it, if you have the ability to just grasp whatever sort of density that this map brings, especially on an AR as low that it can get with the easy, I guess you could go, and there you go. Easy is in play from Sound Boomer. Oh my god.
Oh my god. That's mouse only easy, man. You see his cursor shake whenever there's a stream. Sound Boomer. Okay, we'll be watching that top left screen. But for now, China will have the first miss as they go triple hard rock. What in the world, China? Okay. Looks like they want that mod multipliers today. Sanji Tosei Shigiri Reno, despite dropping Yashi, to still keep the combo. And we stand as well on the hard rock, but there was Sound Boomer, the first break for Russia. And now, the mod advantage does go to China. Those multipliers from hard rock will do them good in the long run, despite the lower accuracies, as they keep their combos still. Wire Scarlet on the recovery as well. They have spinning mode on 89% as well in Russia, though, by the way. So in terms of accuracy, they are very much fair. And Toyan will go down. That's the hidden.
Oh no, that's a Bancho.
Bob Kita. Oh, that's a Bancho. Okay, that's Bob Kita left. Sorry, no, not left actually. It's still 3 on Russia. And now the score lead will fluctuate quite a bit, with still basically a 4-way from China. It's just that early break from Wire Scarlet. But that multiplier from Easy, man, it's 2.5 for the Easy, and Sound Boomer is making it work. That mouse only, those triples are so shaky from him. But there goes Wire Scarlet, and Sonic Tosi as well to go the same way in his direction. And now it's Russia still going. 170k lead now. Russia will take this. No, free mod 1, sorry, I was about to call it no 5, but free mod 1 very much in their favor now. 230k, but there's still a combo on China. But now it's double break from China, and now Shigiri Reno, and now alone. with no leeway here. Russia still has 3 combos in the bag,
Oh
and
my
there
god.
goes Shigarino. It's now on Tolion and Sound Boomer uncontested on the Stream of 1. The first breakpoint of the match. China is not gonna like this one.
Oh my god, a full collapse coming in. Russia, the easy was questionable, but Sound Boomer is making it work. He is finding his way, and Antolion's, the hidden, is there to cook. Look at him go as he is just completely shredding whatever this map has to offer. And a 1.1k combo to close this off. A 900k difference. A difference of insane magnitudes on a skill set that China is good at. The Russians are just showing that they are completely uncontested on the free mods. This is why they are so feared when it comes to this mods. When it comes to this mod set, free mod is untouchable for them. And now China, they're going to be making a massive mistake here. That decision is going to be pivotal for Russia to just steal this match away. And now, what are you going to be able to do here, Russia? They still have the hiddens left on the table. They could go for those off the bat, especially after such strong breakpoints. After such a strong breakpoint like that, hidden 2, it's on the table. They could go for it. Just consolidate this breakpoint with whatever you can, because you don't want to trade it back. It's going to go 3-3 if you make a mistake, Russia. Are we going to be seeing it right here? Is Bruno Mars going to be in play? Are we going to be seeing another hidden? Maybe something that they're looking forward to maybe play a little bit more aside from the hidden 2. Not too sure. The decisions are there. A lot left on the table. Bruno Mars, will you be coming here to bless this stream? Or maybe another free mod.
We know China already does not feel good on the hidden. They went triple hard rock, which they don't have to, on a map that isn't really hard rock favored. So you just know, like, China does not like the hidden, and Russia, you know, you count on the scoreboard, they have 3 points left and 3 maps are open in the hidden slot, so they get 3 picks here. That's looking very good for them. But they go for the hard rock tree instead. They want to keep that protect.
What?
Like, still in the back of their head. Like, they want to keep it safe, I guess.
What?
Like,
It's the third.
What?
It's their third pick of the match. If you make a mistake, it ties up 3-3, and there's a margin of 3 points left between you and your opponent from winning. That basically makes this a best of 5 if you lose this. Very interesting pick from them. One of the more scarier maps to pick, considering that this one, you know, you compare it with the rest of the pool, it is a very rough one. I mean, it is on the hard rock. They did very well on the hard rock one, and China, they kind of collapse a lot on the aim, but this one is of a different skill set. A little bit of flow rhythmish sort of mapping, I guess you could say. So, I mean, they did play the Nomad 5 earlier, so maybe Russia's feeling a little bit more warmed up when it comes to the more non-standard rhythms here. And it is on the hard rock, a mod set that they are comfortable with. No idea why there's no hidden yet. Maybe, no, they're not too keen on picking that. I'm not too sure, but, you know, either way, I did mention that the decisions are all there for Russia to take. You know, there's a lot of options for them to go pick. I'm not kind of surprised it's not the hiddens or the free mods, but either way, you know, HR3, if they're feeling good on this, maybe this should be a decent one for them to take. The question is, China, can they answer back with something, as this would be a very important one to steal back. It is going to be that very important core in Sana Chitose and Shigeru Rino coming in, and Squire and Manchin to sort of fill in for this hard rock, the key hard rock players. And Vorkuta, Lefrutit, they've been so instrumental for this team. Lefrutit especially, he's been popping off. So Doxan and Speedymon to fill in for them. Let's see if these 8 players can handle this map, as Russia going for it. This would be a very important one to take. Consolidate that breakpoint. Get the 4th point on the table. Let's see if they can pull it off.
China is gonna want this one really bad, seeing as I think this might have been on their pick radar as well. Russia is really running down their choices, but Russia will have the first 2 breaks on that flow part. Spirimon and the Left-Rooted, the first ones to miss on this map. China, meanwhile, they still keep it strong with 4-way with decent accuracy as well, considering the kind of map this is. And Russia is looking not the best on the start of the map, but
Oh,
it's a very volatile map, so you can expect a lot of breaks here, trying to adjust to the map style. And there goes 2 breaks from China as
oh.
well. Majin and Kwai supporting players for China gone now, so now it's equal. Actually, slightly in favor of Russia as the score starts to go back. Shigerino and Sanachitose trying to make this work, but they need some support from Kwai and maybe Majin as well. But there goes Kwai, and now Russia will flip it with 3 combos still going strong on this hard rock tree.
Left with it with that recovery, and it's a triple break from China. It's only Shigerino to hold, and it seems like this was a good option for them to go for after all. As that last break comes in from China, Shigerino has fallen, and it is 3 combos to stand for Russia. Speedyman may miss, but that's not the one the Chinese are looking for. Doxan, Vorkuta, they're holding so well, so valiantly. Left with it with the recovery. Maybe the finger control not in his favor, maybe the accuracy not in his favor, but it's still a 91 to stand for him, and it's still a 600 combo to stand against practically nothing from the Chinese. There is a couple of breaks from the Russian side, but it is traded from Shigerino and Manjant. Left with it, Speedymon unable to find their their comfortability through the rest of this map going into the second half, but Vorkuta, Doxan, look at them go. These two players, they are just completely making a mess out of this map. These two core players, the tapping player and the mastermind behind this Russian roster, Vorkuta, Doxan may miss, but it doesn't matter. Look at the damage done. It's already a 400k lead off of the back of the FC from Vorkuta and that insane combo from Doxan. China, what can you do? Kwai and Sanachitose may be holding, but Manjit and Shigerino are still struggling. They can't do this alone. This lead so insurmountable. There's one more quarter left. The flow, it does not get any easier. More misses keep on coming in, and as Russia is continuing to recover bit by bit, they will take themselves across the line. Vorkuta is there to lead the vanguard and take China down, push their defenses, and get that 4th point on the board. Vorkuta does not want to break at all. Sanachitose, he's trying his best. He's holding as best as he can on the streams, but there you go. The chain miss comes in, and there's barely any map left. 500, no, 600k and
God.
extending. Vorkuta is just destroying this. Finally, the miss. A show of humanity on his side. But what a robotic play from this man. One that the Chinese just cannot replicate at all. And there's a reason why they went for this. A 769k difference between these two teams. What a play. 4th point on the table. Breakpoint consolidated. China, seems like you are on the back seat now, buddy.
That team score for Russia, man, 2.3 million. And Borkuda, that bottom left, he has not left that screen over there, and he puts up finally a score where you'd expect him to on almost every single map. It's 900k on the hard rock tree, man. Keeping that Russian team afloat halfway through, and they do manage to take it by quite a lot as well. That hard rock tree going very well, but it's an instant pick from China. Nomad 2, they want to keep picking the streams, and this one, it's not quite speed, man. There's a lot of flow in this one.
It's a lot of flow, that's for sure. But, I mean, China, they're not too shabby when it comes to the flow aim. They got number 5 in qualifiers, but who are they going up against? They're going against the best Nomad 2 score in that aforementioned qualifiers, the Russian Federation. And, I mean, Nomad 2, they are slightly comfortable on it. They did protect this during that Canada match. But, I mean, it's not too comfortable. The Russian Federation still strong when it comes to their mechanics. Still very, very powerful when it comes to the flow aim. Especially when you look at key players like Lefrutit and Vorkuta on their side. China, they're gonna need to build something up right here. This is an important one. Nomad too. They have to do their best to take this. This would be a pivotal one to take. It has to be now. We'll just have to wait and see as the rosters are gonna be coming in real soon.
I would agree with this pick a lot more if it was like the round of 16 or the quarterfinals one, as it was more stamina oriented, longer streams, less breaks in between. But this one is a lot more like the qualifiers Nomad 2, where it's aim control, flow aim, lots of space streams on this one, and also I think it's like a 1/3 section in the middle, but I'm not sure if that's too much of a problem. But still, the flow on this one is so much harder compared to previous rounds. China, it's in. It's, let's see, if they can keep a third point, keep themselves in the match.
It would be a pivotal one. This map, a very special map indeed. For this map pool, I believe this was custom made for the semifinals. A song by Silas, mapped by Decor and King Baxter. This would be an instrumental one for China to take. It's Vorkuta and Inuisana, Manjant, and Meowsart to fall. Lefrutit to follow as well. It was almost entirely the bottom half, but Lefrutit followed with a miss of his own, a bit of a chain miss. And now it's 2 combos to 1. Doxan versus Shigeru Rino and Sana Chitose. They need to build this up. They need those FCs. It would be very important for them to keep those. Build something back. These two players, they've been really strong core players for the Chinese roster here so far in this match, but Sana Chitose drops, unable to find the consistency on the flow aim. These shapes, they're very simple, but they're so easy to find misses on, especially when you get nervous, especially when the spacing ramps up. But Shigeru Rino, he's trying his best to mitigate the damage. Doxan is holding his best. At the very least, he has 3 combos there to support him. Meanwhile, Manjit and Inuisana are the only combos available from China right now. Sana Chitose missed at the very bad time left. And this lead, it's not shifting just yet. But if any combos were to break, as it does from Manjit, it's gonna be shifting back. But it's a double break from Russia. Doxan and left with it. And Meowsart go down. And there you go. Maybe China is gonna be able to build something back. Maybe it's not over yet. Shigeru Rino still needs to do a lot more. But that's the FC gone. Vorkuta, now he needs to face off against Inuisana. It is still not secured just yet. There's one more quarter of the map.
Ooh. Here comes a little bit of a break. And I'm worried for any breaks from this map because I know right at the end, right after this section, Gabbers, there's a space stream. People have to watch out for it. Any breaks come in? No, it's Bob Kita at the break. And now Russia is completely out of this map as Inuisana hits all the space streams. China will be taking their third point. Inuisana breaks, but there's still Manjit and Shigeru Rino on the combo. It's 200k and there's not much time. Russia is gonna have to hope for a lot of break here from China, but I don't think it's gonna happen. China has made the magic work. 200k on the custom song. This lead is all that they need. Nomad 2 will be in favor of the Chinese team. China, 700k. Wait, no, that's not 700k. That guy there at the bottom right left, but still a big lead on a big map for China. At that point was so important for them. Russia just could not hold on there. Bob Kita, man, claimed by that space stream. It's that was scary to watch. That was scary to watch, man.
A very sad miss from the Russian team. They could have stolen it. But China, they're proving why they're to be feared on the Nomad 2. They're showing why that they're very prominent when it comes to this map. And you know, that's the custom song on their side. A big thank you to Decor and King Baxter, as well as Silas for the song. And you know, very important one to see. I think this is the first time we've seen this song, but there you go. An absolute banger of a showdown between these two teams. China are showing why that they have made it this far. Why they are still here in the semifinals in this bracket. They will continue to persist. And Russia, seems like it's not over just yet. They're not going to be getting match point too soon. But it is their decision. They could potentially push it there. And the options still on the table. They've been going for some very weird picks. Ones that we haven't really seen from them through the entire tournament. Ones that we haven't really seen coming through their past matches. Nomad 3, the Hard Rocks, but you know, now it's their pick. It is the most important part of the match to push it to match point. Is it gonna be the Hidden Swords or the Free Mods? It's the Free Mod 3 coming in. It's not Free Mod 2, unfortunate for the chat, but there you go. Russia, they're looking to abuse the Free Mods. And I believe this is a bit of flow aimish tech coming in. Very short, very scary. Coming in at less than 2 minutes. But the Russians are so strong when it comes to whatever roster they put in on the free mods. The mod combinations, very lethal. They're just so consistent on the hidden, on the hard rock. Maybe we'll even see the easy coming in from Sound Boomer if he has practiced this map. We'll just have to wait and see. But a very strong one to come in from Russia, that's for sure. China, let's see if they can take them down on what they're best at, the free mods here.
Whoa. I don't think we're gonna see easy on this one, guys. I highly doubt it, because this map, if you've seen this map, it's so hard. Like on any mod, really, this is like the hardest map in the pool. I think objectively, like if you ask most people, they would say this is probably the hardest map in the pool, assuming you can play most skill sets. Like it's just, it doesn't feel like it should be in the pool. Or at this SR, I mean, because the mods are just so hard, especially on the easy. I don't think we're gonna see Sound Boomer. We're probably gonna see Necroplasma come in maybe on the hidden. But Russia will still be strong on this no matter what. But we do see Sound Boomer in the lobby, and that makes your heart skip a beat if you're China. Because oh my god, you already know what the easy multiplier can do.
I think we are going to be seeing a timeout coming in, asked by Sana Chitose. Seems like they want to collect themselves a little bit, get the nerves, get the stress down. It is a very, very well fought match from them against the seed 3 of the tournament in Russia. Sound Boomer coming in. I wouldn't be surprised, as if you're familiar with this guy, he's capable of cooking on practically whatever with the easy mod on. So not too surprised. But then again, Necroplasma, a very pivotal HD player for the Russians. He could go on it. He could make a run on this map as well. We'll just have to wait and see. The rosters, we're not gonna be too familiar with them yet. But so far, what are your thoughts on the picks and strats that's been going on right now from the Chinese and Russia, especially considering that they haven't gone for any of the hidden so far, which has been incredibly surprising to me.
Well, I mean, you can see like Russia just coming in here as the highest seed, the favored team, better team overall, you can say. But China has been picking very, very carefully, and those picks, those like DT2, at Noma 2 as well, they did their homework and they know what maps they're very, very good on, and what maps Russia might have a little bit more trouble on. Is the speed, stamina, and foam as well, as they have players for that, China. But Russia just not even picking their protect. We are 2 points away from a potential winner. It's 4-3 right now, and Russia is still not picking their protect. China, meanwhile, it was their second pick, I believe. DT2, yeah, it was their second pick. DT2 Run the Jewels was their second instant consolidation map, I guess, and they did. But Russia still has all those hiddens up. One of those being the protect, and they know they are so free to pick anything they want right now. A lot of their pool is just towards their favor, and they can like experiment with a lot of mods here as well on the stream tree.
We'll just have to wait and see if it pays off. We do see a lot of the players coming in, and not too sure if that's them looking out for the timer. I think the timeout has concluded in quite a bit. Are these going to be the 8 players that we're going to be seeing? Very surprised to still not see the HD2 coming in. I've seen this happen a couple of times where a team or a player goes for a protect just as a sort of psychological warfare against the other team. Picking a protect, picking something that your protects. You always assume that your opponent's protects are gonna be the map that they're most comfortable with, but maybe Russia went for it as a means of kind of making China a bit scared to go for some of the reading maps or the hiddens. But
my god,
well, it's gonna be the
Sound
3.
Sound Boomer. I'm just gonna say right now, I don't know what kind of practice you've done on this map, but holy, that is a lot of that's a lot of courage to go hit easy on this. But here we go. Free mod tree is in full effect here. 4-way FC still for Russia, as China has already dropped YR Scarlet on the hidden. The only hidden on China again, it's a triple hard rock, but there goes double break from China. Both hard rocks at the top, Shigure and Sana Chitose all gone. But there's a trade from Russia. It's actually equal now. It's 1 FC to 1 Antolia on the hidden, as well as Kwai Kwai on the hard rock could actually keeping up with the accuracy 94, 95 now. Sound Boomer will be keeping that easy. But multiply on, but Antolion will break halfway through, and now it's quite the hard rock specialist for China to keep this in the bag. It's 80k lead, but they will have the combo advantage. They know why our Skillet is there to back him up as well. If he quite can just keep this combo up, they can take another breakpoint here. China drops Wire
Oh my
Scarlet, but it's
God.
still an FC. Sound Boomer's trying his best, but Bob Kita is the only one there to support him. Speedymon and Antolian are struggling to keep up any sub combo still. But there goes the recovery from China. There's a break.
Oh my
from
God.
Bob Kita Gappers. That is not who you want to see break on the second half. That is not who you want to see, as Kwai is continuing to FC. Shigiri Reno breaks, but there's another break from Russia, and they want that. But there's Kwai, no!
He drops at the most pivotal moment. This was his opportunity to take. This was his moment to steal. But Sound Boomer, look at him go. A 670 combo at the end. A reverse choke. He will not fall. He will not let it slip. Kwai denied of the breakpoint. Look at that score from Sound Boomer on the easy. And it's just a rough one. That was incredibly close. Not as secured as maybe Russia were thinking, but China put up a fight, but Russia were able to seal it out. And that's just because that easy player is so reliable. Combo and Sound Boomer so instrumental. And now China, the final decision to make, and I don't think there's any tapping maps left in the pool after all we've been through. I don't think there's anything they could go for that's too comfortable here. And they have no choice. They have to go for it. This is the last option. They just need to go with anything at all that maybe they're slightly more comfortable on. Still a lot left on the table. We haven't really seen much of the techs coming in. Maybe we'll see those. I doubt they're gonna go for a hidden, but you know, there's still a bunch of maps. What are your thoughts left?
I was gonna say something about DT1, but apparently Sana Chitose wants to go hidden straight. The first hidden pick in this match is from China.
Yes!
Surprisingly, like, oh my goodness. Okay.
The best map. This is the best song.
God, you got swing. This is like alt swing, finger control. Something you would want Sound Boomer and Necroplasma to go off on, and Bob Kia as well. But China, it seems like they want to dip their toes into the hidden pool first. And maybe, just maybe, we'll see exactly why Russia has not picked hidden yet.
Maybe this is it. Maybe this is China's answer back. Russia, they haven't gone for it through this entire match. Maybe that hidden 2 was just a lie. Maybe they're not too comfortable on this mod set at all. HD3, a very, very important pick for China to make a very important decision. Their last option to maybe bring this back to force a tiebreaker on the table. Zero Talking by Harumaki Gohan, a banger of a song. This can either be their opportunity to extend their stay, or maybe this will be their last chance to play on this stage here. The 5-digit World Cup. They've made it to top 12. A valiant effort for sure against the top 3 seed. But China, maybe they can pull up with a bit more if they manage to win this. This map is so difficult when it comes to the swing alt. These doubles, the spacing on them, very rough to follow, especially on the hidden, where it is just, frankly, very difficult to read, especially from a rhythm standpoint. So I feel like we're gonna see a lot of struggles when it comes to the accuracies. But China went for it. Maybe they're prepared for it. Maybe they were looking to go for this sometime soon. We'll just have to wait and see. This is it, baby. 5-3 down. China, is this the one that you are looking for to bring this back?
We do not see GXY coming for this one. That's scary for China. Is he not here?
Why? I'm not too sure. I'm very surprised to not see him. He's been sort of... If you've seen him, I mean, you've probably seen him if you've watched the 5-digit iteration, any iteration of the 5-digit World Cup. He's played for several years now, pretty much. So maybe he's not there to play for the techs or the hiddens or the readings. So we'll just have to wait. We're not too sure here, but oh well, China, it's their final pick. So far, not looking too good. Wire, Scarlet, and Kwai the first to miss. Quadruple FC still in favor of Russia. Sana Chitose, it's a full collapse from China, not even in the first Ki yet. They have completely fallen. And can they still get up? It's still the start. but that is disastrous when you're facing down against 4 full combos, continuing to persist, continuing to hold on, going into the Ki.
Ooh, Russia is looking to pounce on this one still. Almost forwarded. There goes Mozart finally. Keeps things a little bit less scary for China, but their pick is so far not been the best for them. But there goes two breaks from Russia. Bob Keaton now down to two FCs. Necroplasma, the one who was doing really good on the hidden tree last week against Australia, will be the one to continue holding for Russia, along with Antolion as well. Not really the skill set you would see him play too much, I don't think. But he's doing very well on this hidden tree. China, they see the scores, but they do have the recovery combos on that Kwai Kwai, Iwai Skeleton, and Shigiri Reno, so it's still within range of both of these teams. But Kwai Kwai and Iwai Skeleton break at the same time. That's not what you want to see. Sanachi Tosi was just about building combo there. It was looking good, but just that double break at the same time, man, that made it so much more scary for China. Now it's second KI now starting with Russia in full lead of this one. Necroplasma drops a bit of act, but there's Sanachi Tosi who drops his combo. There's a trade from Shigiri Reno, and that is the only FC left gone from China. And well, I mean, it's 2-1, 2-0 for Russia, and I mean, they are just in full control of this map, Gabbers.
This is not good. China's made a pivotal mistake on their most important pick. No combos at all from China when you compare them to whatever Russia has. Some of the more rougher streams coming in, Antolion's does miss, but it is still Necroplasma to persist, to be that wall for Russia to reside in China. They're unable to push past their limits. It seems like this is going to be the end of the run unless we see a complete collapse from Russia right here, right now. But there's only 1/4 left. There's barely any time. Necroplasma, he's done incredibly well as that hidden player. He is looking to take Russia out of the line. Figurino, Sanachi Tose, what more can you do as the core players of this Chinese team? One more Ki. Is this going to be goodbye for them? Necroplasma, he finally falls. He finally drops. But Sanachi Tose is there to follow with a trade of his own. And Meowzart is looking to continue what Necroplasma has started. Russia, a team so dominant on the hiddens. This mod slot we have been talking about through this entire match. And the first time that they play a hidden through this match, they're showing why they're to be feared on this. Why they're to be completely... why they're so dominant on this. 961k. It's Russia's win, without a doubt. The Chinese have made a mistake, and that is going to be the end of their run in the 5-digit World Cup.
Oh, China. Spike going down 6-3. They will bring themselves back into the semifinals round. This is where they've been for the past couple years. So it's not an underperformance from China at all. They were doing very well, and actually we're shaping up Russia quite a bit. I think a lot of those picks were very, very scary for Russia. But 6-3 will be the final scoreline. Russia will be moving on against, I think it's either, was it Canada? No, I think it's the winner of Chile, Brazil, I believe.
Yep. Brazil, strong seed 7 against Chile on a bit of a run in the losers bracket. So a very interesting opponent for Russia to wait for in the second round of semis. A valiant effort from the Chinese roster. They tried their best. They got as much points as they can, abused the tapping as much as they can, but unfortunately, they ran out of picks. They will meet their end on the hidden 3. Still a solid placing to end on. That top 12, solid improvement from their previous year, so nothing to be too disappointed with. But unfortunately, Russia, they're just here to stay. Seed 3, it's David and Goliath, and Goliath is just always there to stomp on whoever who is just incapable of taking down their wrath. Now, top 8 secured. Russia just gonna wait for their opponent, and that's gonna be it for this match, I believe. We still have a couple of matches later scheduled. I believe the next one in play in around 2 hours and 25 minutes is gonna be a winners bracket match. So that's gonna be a very interesting one to see. Stay tuned for that as it's gonna be an interesting one. There is a story behind this, a bit of a revenge match between these two countries, the United States and the Philippines. And with that being in play in just a little bit, that's been me, Jabber SS, and Left Rail with me in the commentators booth. It's been fun watching this match, but unfortunately, this is the end. We'll have to see you guys next time, and that's it. Bye bye.